Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's SparkWithGeorgeTune.com. I'm back with another Monday Morning Mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? Brand new coffee, courtesy of viewer Rob Miller. Rob, thanks very, very much. I know we promised you something from William Meredith. Something's going on with deliveries in my neighborhood. I didn't get it yet. Not William's fault. Something's going on with delivery. Well, we'll get to that in just a minute. Let's sample this coffee this morning. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a real good one. This is from Blackout Coffee Company. This is Smooth Finish, a light roast. And I think we've talked about this in the past. When it's a light roast, it means it's loaded with caffeine, I think. Yeah, oh boy, this is a good one. And Smooth Finish is the perfect name for it. Boy, this is good. You can reach them at www.blackoutcoffee.com. And of course, he sent the ground coffee. So a big thank you to Rob Miller. Thank you very, very much, Rob. He also sent something else to the channel that we'll be talking about later on the show, so stay tuned. So, yeah, wow. And we're using my Ohio coffee mug. This came from my niece, Kelly. And the reason why we're using this is because, hey, it's the beginning of March. Before you know it, it's going to be spring, which means we're going to be back outside, all those great outdoor activities taking place. And, of course, that state of Ohio logo with those pine trees and the star field and everything, that represents all those great outdoor activities that we have to look forward to. Outdoor activities. Yeah, one more sip. Absolutely fantastic. Now, again, last week we were telling you that we had this great coffee mug and great coffee from William Meredith. We got the coffee mug, but we have to use the coffee. And the coffee did not arrive yet. I was up at the social media site Nextdoor. It's kind of like a Facebook for neighborhoods. And I'm seeing more and more posts up there of folks in my area who are not getting their deliveries for some reason. Things have slowed down, or they're not being delivered to the correct address, that sort of thing. So I'm hoping that hasn't befallen our coffee delivery. Now, if for some reason during the editing process that coffee arrives, we'll do a quick drop in, we'll let you know, and then we'll get it ready for next week. But I'll get a message into William to say, hasn't arrived yet, because fantastic coffee, and it's got to go with that coffee mug. I know I mentioned this last week, and you're probably thinking, what is it? But believe me, you got to use the mug with the coffee. You have to. You can't use them separately. So we've still got that coming. So hang in there with me. We'll find out what's going on. I'm thinking the coffee was delivered to the wrong address. And that's just a hunch on my part based on what I'm reading on social media. So how are you this morning? Great to be with you. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. Got to mention something else to you too. Let me just put this down here for a minute. The other day, I was leaving for work early in the morning, opened up my garage door, and I heard this tick, 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 tick. I thought, what was that? What is that? And I was trying to figure out what it was. So it's really, really quiet early in the morning. And I'm looking around in my garage. I thought maybe it was an animal had gotten in there. It was maybe, scraping or chewing at the woodwork or something like that. Like tick, 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 tick. Or maybe it was something in my garage door opener that was overheating. I didn't know what it was. And then I thought, well, maybe it's in my car. So I opened up my door, and standing outside of the car, I stuck my head in there just to listen. I just kind of stuck my head in there to listen. And then I thought, well, nothing in here. It's real quiet in here. So as I pulled my head out, I got up too soon, and I ended up scraping the back of my head. Check it out. We're going to show it to you here. Yeah, ouch, ouch. So I won't be doing any head shaves for quite a while. Boy, that just really, really hurt. It just scraped away that skin. I hate when I do that. Anyhow, the mystery was solved because I stepped outside of my garage, in the driveway, and it had rained earlier overnight, and here my neighbor's gutters had a little drip, and that drip was hitting the ground, and that was echoing in my garage. That's what was going on. And I was just, it was like, dope. Why did I do that? I hate when I scrape my head like that. So it'll heal up. We'll get to it, but we won't be doing any head shaves for maybe another week, something like that. I got to let that heal up. And it is starting to heal up a little bit. And at first I thought, oh, that's not too bad. And then, later on, wow, yeah. So I should have given you a warning. Turn away if you don't want to see it. I apologize. But anyhow, it's okay. It's healing up. And maybe we'll take advantage of it somehow. I'm doing a head shave. Maybe we can figure out a video with a really, really mild razor, maybe shave around it. Maybe that'll be interesting. We'll see what we can do. If you have a suggestion on how I could do a head shave and take advantage of that wound, comment below and let me know. Great to be with you this morning. As we like to say on the show, a good hot coffee, a trusty mug. Let the caffeine go to work, gentlemen. Absolutely. Let me get another sip. That is really, really good. And if you're taking me along on your morning commute, thanks very much for the lift. Really do appreciate that. Hey, for those of you who are listening to the podcast this morning, thanks very much for tuning in on all those platforms that are out there, like Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and iHeartRadio, that sort of thing. Great to be with you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Really, really do appreciate it. Boy, we got a great show for you this morning. We got a viewer shaving tip, a really, really good shaving tip this morning. We got some reminders for you. We got some photos of George Monday Morning Mailbag coffee mugs. We got some great refill comments. A lot of great wet shaving gear and something also pertaining to the month of March as well, with a big thank you to Bill and Connie Murphy out there, and also some great questions and comments. A lot of great stuff to share with you this morning. So hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. So let's get the show kicked off like we do every week with a viewer morning shaving tip. Well, this morning's shaving tip comes from viewer James Gazda, Jim from Northfield, and he writes, "Hey Mark, I just wanted to share this shave tip. When your boar brush starts to spray out erratically over time after use, rinse it out completely. While it is still damp, place a small rubber band and wrap it around the knot. Turn upside down and hang it on a stand. The next day, simply remove the band and your bristles should be back in place. It will work for badger as well. Thanks, Jim." Hey, Jim, that's an absolutely fantastic shaving tip. Thanks again for the photo and the shaving tip. So there you go, folks. If you want to kind of tame your boar or badger brush, check out this tip. Wet it, put on a rubber band, hang it in a stand. The next day, remove it, and all should be good. Thanks so much for a terrific shaving tip. Really, really do appreciate it, Jim. Now, Jim already has an original George sketch for a shaving tip, but if you out there would like an original signed George sketch similar to this one here, just send me a shaving tip. Send that shaving tip to mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And if I use your shaving tip here on the viewer morning shaving tip segment of the Monday Morning Mailbag, you too will receive an original signed George sketch. So Jim, thanks again for a really terrific and original shaving tip. Really do appreciate it. Well, here's your reminder that the channel now has auto dub technology, courtesy of YouTube and Google. What it is it will translate what I am saying right now in real time on the fly from English into Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French, just by hitting and clicking on a drop-down menu. All you have to do is go to that little gear in the lower right of the video and just click on that, and a menu will pop up, and just select your language preference. You can select Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French, and you'll hear me speaking in those languages in real time on the fly. So if English isn't your strong suit, but you are proficient in any of these languages, Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French, Check out AutoDub, and you can translate the Monday Morning Mailbag and all the videos on this channel into any of those languages of your choosing. Check it out, AutoDub, from YouTube and Google, now available here on the channel. Well, here's another reminder that the Maggard Meetup is all set for April 26, 2025, from 12 noon until 5 p.m. at 124 South Winter Street, Adrian, Michigan 49221. Tickets are $35 each. We'll have a link to the Maggard Razors website where you can visit that page, get all the background information on all the great stuff they have planned for the day, and also purchase a ticket. So once again, the Maggard Meetup, April 26, 2025, from 12 noon until 5 p.m. in Adrian, Michigan. I've got my ticket. I hope to see you there. And here's your weekly reminder that the Monday Morning Mailbag is also available as a podcast. Simply get up to your favorite streaming service and search for Monday Morning Mailbag and more, Monday Morning Mailbag and more, and the Monday Morning Mailbag podcast, as well as our other podcast, Second Cup, will come right up. Both of those podcasts are available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, and now iHeartRadio. Well, this morning we got a couple of photos of George coffee mugs, and these came in courtesy of viewer David Dart. David, thank you very, very much. And he writes, Mark, good morning, sir. I'm starting my day off as usual with one exception, my brand new George mug. Just a hint as to what it contains. It's good to the last drop. Anyone thinking of getting one should go for the 15-ounce mug. It's a very generous size. And just a little tip, it would make a fantastic brush soaker. Thanks, Mark, and have a great day. Hey, David, thank you very, very much. That looks absolutely fantastic. And folks, he's using the 30-degree mug. That's what we have right here. And of course, George with the razor on the front, and on the other side, it says 30 degrees, a light touch. Let the razor do all the work, gentlemen. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely fantastic. That's a great photo, David. Thanks so much for sending it in. A little while later, he sent in another email with a photo, and the subject heading reads, another mail call. And he writes, hi, Mark, another great Monday morning mailbag. When I placed my order for my George mug, I ordered a sweatshirt at the same time. They were shipped separately for some reason, but the sweatshirt just came in the mail today. Very good quality, and it's nice to have one of your cartoons to wear. I'll wear it proudly. And when I go to the next Greater Toronto area meetup, I'll be wearing it. Have a great day. Wow, thanks again for that, David. That looks absolutely fantastic. That's a great looking sweatshirt. I'm so delighted with the way they came out. And as you reported, and others have reported who have gotten the sweatshirt, very, very good quality. And the print reproduction is very, very good on it. So I'm really, really delighted with how they came out. So thanks very much for sending along the photos. And I'm just really flattered and honored that you got a mug and a sweatshirt. Thank you very, very much. Folks, we'll have a link below where you can get a George Toon coffee mug, like a Monday Morning Mailbag coffee mug like this, or a 30 degrees coffee mug, or some of the other designs we have up there, or a sweatshirt as well, like David has shown us this morning. These are available at the George Toon Shaving website, online store, where you can go ahead and place your order and get those. Really, the quality is really, really wonderful. I'm so delighted with how they look. And yeah, they look absolutely great. So we'll have those links below. And if you happen to get a mug or a sweatshirt or both, send in a photo and we'll share it with all the viewers out there. So David, thanks again very, very much. I'm so delighted that you're happy with the mug and the sweatshirt. They look absolutely fantastic. Thanks again. Well, what do you know? Coffee's getting low. That time of the show. Let's go back for a refill. Well, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. I hope you went back for a refill. I sure did. Hang on 1 minute. That is marvelous. They named it right when they named it Smooth Finish right here. That really is a nice, smooth finish. From Blackout Coffee Company, Smooth Finish. It's a light roast. Really, really delightful, delightful coffee. And light roast, I guess the understanding is with light roast, you get more caffeine. With the dark roast, you get less caffeine. I guess that's kind of the rule of thumb as I understand it. But this is terrific. Again, a big, big thank you to Rob Miller for sending along the coffee. Rob also sent along another item that we'll be talking about later on the show, so stay tuned for that. So thanks again to Rob for the Smooth Finish from Blackout Coffee Company. We'll have a link to them below. And again, we're enjoying the Ohio coffee mug that my niece Kelly very, very kindly sent along. I think I got this as a Christmas gift. This is terrific. I love this mug. And again, we're using it because beginning of March, and before you know it, it's going to be spring, and we're going to be outside enjoying the great outdoors with all those great outdoor activities. So yeah, hang in there. Spring is right around the corner. We also have another item that comes into play because of March, with a big thanks to Bill and Connie Murphy. So we'll be talking about that later. So stay tuned for that. And I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. And I hope you haven't scraped your head like I have. Oh my gosh. But again, I thought I'd show it to you. And then maybe someone out there has a great method for shaving your head when you have a scrape or a cut or a nick back there to where you can avoid it. So if you do, comment below or email me at mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And, we'll give it a try, and we'll shoot video of it and share it with everyone out there and discuss it on the Monday Morning Mailbag. I think it's a great opportunity, making lemonade out of lemons. There, that's the, I guess that's the saying. Lemonade out of lemons. Yeah, I was handed a lemon. With that head scrape, we're going to be making some lemonade. Okay, so let's get to some of these refill comments. Charles Price kicks things off with, I like the taste of a dark roast coffee, but I need the extra caffeine that's in a light roast. Yeah, that's, as I say, that's my understanding. A light roast has more caffeine than a dark roast. Please comment below and let us know if you've heard the similar rule of thumb and why that would be. Really would appreciate the background information on that. I think we've talked about this once before. I can't recall the specifics or the science behind it. So if you know, please comment below. Tubero CK6. Oh, Charles, thanks very much for that. Really do appreciate it. Tubero CK6 writes, to help the new shaver and his shaving tip, I must add that all scents, whether it be a $5 soap or a $500 fragrance or a $20,000 bottle of vintage wine, all need to aerate. Air brings life into the molecular buildup of the fragrances and helps dissipate them, much like heat does also. Of course, too much heat can eventually break them down, but never judge a scent by its first whiff. Even just taking off the lid and blowing on it for a second will give a different smell than just sticking your nose straight into it when the stale air has been trapped with the strong aroma during shipment. Lather every soap first and spray every fragrance and let it settle through its 3 stages of dry down, top, middle, and base notes, before judging any scent, as that's how it was created and meant to be enjoyed. Boy, that's some great information there, Tubero. Really, really do appreciate it. And yeah, some great, great wisdom there. Just let it air out a little bit, let it come up to room temperature, and then enjoy it. And yeah, I like the detail about opening up the lid and letting it air out. Don't open it up and then stick your nose in there, because yeah, there could be some stale air in there that's kind of built up over shipment. Let that get out of the way before you sample that scent. That's a really, really great, great detail there. So Tubero CK6, thanks again for some great, great information. Really do appreciate it. Mike Perit wrote, another great 3MB, always happy to provide information. It is also good to let your shipments of soap and splashes cool down if you get them when it's hot outside. Have a great week. Yeah, that's another really great tip. I try to make sure that I get home in time on hot summer days so the shipment isn't in my mailbox on those really, really hot days. Hopefully, the box is large enough to where it's set on my front porch to where it's out of the sun. That's kind of my hope. But yeah, maybe I'll have to schedule this summer if I'm ordering something. I'll try to look at the forecast and find out when the cool days are going to be during the week and try to coordinate my ordering and when my shipment will arrive on cooler summer days. That might help. But Mike, a great tip and a great reminder. Thanks very, very much for that. Mike H. 9701 writes, "Hi, Mark. Great Monday morning mailbag. Thank you. Always fantastic segments throughout the show. I'm looking forward to your review of the Martin de Condré Agrooms shaving soap. I think it is a soap you will enjoy using. I hope the week gets off to a wonderful start. Take good care and best regards as always, Mark." Yeah, we reviewed the Agrooms and that was great. We have the review done. It's been scheduled. I can't remember what day that's going to run, but it is scheduled. It will run. And yeah, it was really neat. I don't know. I don't want to spoil the review. Let me just say, I love the scent. I absolutely love the scent. I love the performance. However, I think the performance could be enhanced a little bit through technique. I'll just leave it at that. Watch the review and you'll understand what I mean by that, because I don't want to give it away. I would rather you see the review and check it out for yourself. But yeah, a really, really terrific shave soap. Love the scent. And a big thank you to Jonathan Peoples for very kindly sending along to the channel, allowing me to share it with all the viewers out there. It was a sample, and it still made heaps and heaps of lather from what I scraped out. I don't want to spoil anymore. Thanks very much for the comment, Mike. Really do appreciate it. Indy Shaver writes, "Working from home today, but I've got the 3MB to keep me company." Hey, thank you very, very much. The neat thing is hearing from a lot of viewers and getting some photos where they're watching the show on their big screen TV. And I'm always flattered by that when they've got a big screen TV, like a 50-inch TV or a 55-inch TV, and they've got the Monday Morning Mailbag on. That's really, really neat. I know that Jeremiah out of Timeless Razors, boy, great guys over there, and they make some fantastic razors. At the last meetup, the Ohio Wet Shavers meetup, he happened to say, yeah, when we go up to YouTube, you're right there in queue. We can see your thumbnail. And he says, my daughter's like, oh, look at that. There's your Monday Morning Mailbag. That's really neat. So thank you to all of you out there for tuning in the Monday Morning Mailbag, whether it be on your phone, your tablet, or your big screen TV. I really, really do appreciate it. Or even your laptop computer. Thank you very, very much. James Sefton wrote, "Hey, Mark, just got my weekly dose of the 3MB, so I'm good to go. Great job as always. Have a great day and the rest of the week." Thank you very much, James, for checking in. So glad you tuned in the Monday Morning Mailbag. Really do appreciate that. Oh, Indy Shaver checked in again, and he wrote, "I have some razors that I used early in my wet shaving journey and wasn't very happy with the shave. I put them aside, and later, as my technique improved, I tried them again and found it wasn't the razor, but me." Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. This again falls into our rule of thumb that we've discussed on the Monday Morning Mailbag and in some of our shaving reviews, that if a razor doesn't impress you the first time around, don't toss it away. Hang on to it, put it aside, wait a couple of weeks, maybe even wait a month, whatever it is, and then come back to it. Sometimes when we get a new razor, our expectations are so high, it might fall short of those expectations. But in Indy Shaver's point here, he's talking about his technique improving. That is another component that comes into play as well. Not only are our expectations a little too high, but maybe our technique needs to improve a little bit so that we take full advantage of what that razor has to offer. Maybe the angle of approach is slightly different and our technique improves to the point where we're able to find that angle of approach much more easily because our technique is improved. So Indy Shaver, thanks very much for pointing that out. That's a great reminder. Thank you again very, very much. So again, if something like a shave soap or a brush or a razor doesn't hit you, doesn't knock your wheels off, the first time, just set it aside, wait a little bit, come back to it 2-3 weeks, a month, something like that. Try it again, and you'll be surprised. The results will be much, much better in many, many cases. So thanks again for that, Indie Shaver. Really do appreciate it. Jimmy V Photography writes, Matt from Rex has a video on sonic cleaning razors. Sorry, I'm out, so I don't have the link, but it should be easy to find. For sure, Ben-Hur with Charlton Heston is the definition of epic. I agree with you, Jimmy. This comment was left in second cup. We talked about sonic cleaning a razor. So we'll find that video. We'll get that link below so you can check out Matt's equipment and method for cleaning a razor using sonic equipment, because we happen to have that discussion on last week's second cup. Check that out if you didn't hear it. And we also recommended the movie Ben-Hur starring Charlton Heston. What an epic movie. We recommended it because it'll be Easter before you know it. And of course, Ben-Hur is a tale of the Christ, an absolutely epic movie that still holds up today. When you watch this movie, you think to yourself, my gosh, this movie was made like more than 60 years ago, and it looks like it was produced today. In some cases, it looks even better than some movies that are being produced today. Yeah, it really is a sweeping, grand epic. I don't want to spoil it. If you've never seen it, I don't want to spoil it. Just rent it, stream it. Ben-Hur, starring Charlton Heston. You will not be disappointed, but strap in for about a 3.5-hour long movie. Intermission, opening music, the whole bit. Yeah, it's all there. It's a movie event. It really is. So, hey, Jimmy, thanks very much for that. Really do appreciate it. Brian McCarthy, 1322, writes, another entertaining and informational start to the no work week. Retirement and wet shaving seem to suit me. Keep up the good work, Mark. Oh, Brian, thanks very much for tuning us in, and enjoy that retirement and enjoy that little extra time you have for doing the traditional wet shave. As I've always mentioned, and other wet shavers have also recommended. It's not really my tip. It's something that I learned from other wet shavers and viewers. If you're doing the wet shave in the morning, wake up 30 minutes earlier, and really take the time to enjoy that traditional wet shave in the morning. We have a lot of folks out there who shave in the evening because they wake up so early, they really don't have that time in the morning. So they'll shave in the evening, and that shave will carry them through the day until the next evening. But they like doing the evening shave because they can slow down a little bit and really savor that shave. So whether you're a morning shaver or an evening shaver, whether you're still working or retiring, enjoy that shave. Take that time and enjoy that shave. So Brian, thanks very much for tuning in, and enjoy that shave. Dan Blackshirt checked in and he wrote, great 3MB and a suggestion when doing a bowl lather with a triple milled soap. Scrape thin flakes off with a knife, press them into the bottom of your shave bowl, and then put hot water in the bottom of your shave bowl for 2 to 5 minutes to activate the oils. I use Saponificio Veracino soaps, and they tell you to put some hot water on the soap to build the lather. Works incredible. Wow, that's great, Dan. Thanks very much for passing along that very, very useful tip. I'm going to have to remember that when I scrape out my shave soap and put it in the bottom of the bowl. Heat it up with some hot water for a good, 2, 3, 5 minutes, something like that. That's a really, really great reminder. I sometimes forget to do that. So thank you very much for that. Really, really do appreciate it. This comment comes from Odin Arcade 00, and he writes, hey, Mark, I went to the Razor Emporium meetup on Saturday and finally got the Henson TI-22 mild razor. I love it. I also picked up some Ariana and Evans Plum and Bliss shaving cream from the man himself at his vendor table. It smells and performs amazingly. Intoxicating scent. I also think I met Chris and I was like, hi, Chris. My name is Chris. It was a lot of fun. And I finally got some Sterling Soap Company soap, Ozark Mountain. And I highly recommend either of these soaps and the razor to everyone. Great podcast as always. Hey, Odin Arcade, thanks very, very much for that report on the Razor Emporium meetup. Yeah, they have a great meetup every year, and I'm so sorry I didn't give a heads up regarding that meetup. I would have definitely publicized it here on the Monday Morning Mailbag and reminded everyone that it was coming up. I dropped the ball on that one. My apologies. I hope that the folks in the greater Arizona area where the Razor Emporium is located had a chance to find the information and attend that meetup, because it's a good one. It really is. It really is good. And as I understand it, Matt also gives a tour of his entire facility there. And that would be really, really neat to see. So Odin Arcade, thanks for the report. And Plum and Bliss from Ariana and Evans is an absolutely fantastic scent. At the Maggard meetup last year, while Peter didn't have it for sale, he had samples of the scent. And yeah, that's a good one. That's absolutely fantastic. I like that one a lot. Yeah, that's on my wish list, absolutely. And of course, anything from Sterling Soap Company is absolutely fantastic. Great performance and great scents. Yeah, so thanks for that report, Odin Arcade. Really, really do appreciate it. Viewer Spooky to Scary writes, I know this is primarily a shaving channel, but with all the talk of peanuts and you being a cartoonist yourself, I just wanted to ask what you or the viewers thought of one of my favorite comic strips, Calvin and Hobbes. When I was a kid, we had the box set of the entirety of the strip, and I always enjoyed sitting down and relating to Calvin's misadventures and to his character. Having grown up, I'm surprised how philosophical the strip is, which makes sense as both main characters are named after philosophers, which adds an entirely new dimension to the comic strip that I couldn't have grasped as a child. I think that one of the best compliments you can give an artist is a revisit, which means you enjoy their work enough to come back again and again for their perspective. Just like how every morning I'm clocking in at work with Monday Morning Mailbag playing in my earbuds. Mark, I always enjoy your perspective, your comics, and of course, everyone's participation. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Hey, thanks very, very much for that Spooky to Scary. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, Calvin and Hobbes really burst onto the scene, didn't it? I happen to have the authoritative Calvin and Hobbes here. And the one thing that Bill Watterson insisted on in both newspapers and in his book publications is to make sure that the artwork is run in a larger size so that you could read it. About the time that Calvin and Hobbes was launched, newspapers were reducing the size of the Sunday pages and also the daily comic strips and the daily comic strip pages to the size of postage stamps. So you couldn't see that wonderful artwork. He was an admirer of the classic comic strips from yesteryear, as are all cartoonists, I would think, where those newspapers were larger. And the comics came in these large broadsheets, especially the Sunday comics, in color too, which was really something during the 20s, 30s, and 40s to see comics in color in the newspaper, whereas the daily pages, the daily comics were all black and white. But that's one thing that he insisted on. And yeah, boy, did he really create a very, very memorable character. And the one thing I think a lot of readers enjoyed was seeing the reality and the fantasy with Hobbes the tiger. Seeing Calvin look at Hobbes as a real tiger, and then when everyone was looking at Calvin, it was just a little stuffed animal. But his imagination brought it to life, and I think everyone loved that quality in the comic strip. Yeah, so it was pretty amazing stuff. I mean, look at how this is enlarged on the page so you can read it and you can see all that artwork. Yeah, really, really terrific. Yeah, terrific comic strip, and I think a lot of viewers out there would agree with you that it really is. I guess you could say it's a modern classic. It really is a fantastic comic strip. And again, all this great artwork, great action, great dynamic to Hobbes. You know, I mean, really, really terrific. So yeah, I agree with you. A really, really terrific comic strip. And I know that when we got together, this was, gosh, how many years ago was this? I can't remember. But Bill Watterson was retired, and They were just, releasing book collections and that sort of thing. And we got together for a dinner in Columbus with all chapter members, and we had door prizes, and somebody donated a signed a signed book collection, Calvin and Hobbes book collection, signed by Bill Watterson. And everybody was hoping to win that. And Jeff Smith, the creator of the Bone comic strip series, he won that. He was so happy to win that. And so that was kind of neat seeing Jeff win it, because Jeff is another really, really talented cartoonist. If you've never seen the Bone comic strip or comic book, and he's taken all those comic books and put them into these great book collections. Check it out, Bone. And I think his website is still up and running. So we'll try to link to Bone, and also get a link to maybe where you can get some Calvin and Hobbes books, because they really are terrific. It's a really delightful comic strip. Great artwork, and reproduced so you can read it and see all the art. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, thanks very much for that, Spooky to Scary. Really do appreciate it. Viewer Bart Buzz writes, a classic Old Spice shave. I have a tube of that Old Spice shaving cream. It makes a great lather, but there is almost no scent. So I added a few drops of Old Spice aftershave to the lather bowl to bring out the Old Spice fragrance. Even the modern version of Old Spice is enjoyable. Hey, Bart, thanks very much for that tip. Yeah, we had a shave, a vintage Old Spice shave, because viewer Greg Pasanti very, very kindly sent along a vintage bottle of Old Spice from the 1970s. And the scent is amazing. The performance was wonderful. And yeah, the shave cream that we used that Greg also sent to the channel is good, but I agree. The scent, the Old Spice scent from the shaving cream is a little muted. So thanks very, very much for that tip. That's what I'm going to do next time. I'm going to take some of that Old Spice, vintage Old Spice, and add it to that lathering bowl when I'm building that lather to get that great, great Old Spice scent. That's an absolutely fantastic tip, Bart. Really do appreciate it. This comes from RJ Wright, RW30. Dad was an Old Spice guy. I love the scent of his aftershave. I use it a lot even before I could shave. Great shave, Mark. Yeah, I think a lot of us did that, didn't we? When we were a little younger, we were kind of waiting to shave, hoping to shave someday, and maybe we used a little bit of Dad's aftershave or something like that. Yeah, comment below and let us know if you did that as well. That's fantastic. RJ Wright, thanks very much for that comment. I really do appreciate it. Donald Lyons, 7143 writes, thanks to a recent Monday Morning Mailbag reminder, I recently scored a vintage Old Spice set of both cologne and aftershave on eBay. Just this morning, I used the Barbershop Cream and Balm by Rockwell and my T2 stainless steel. My wife came into the room after my shave and just went nuts over the scent of the splash and cologne. She remarked enthusiastically that it reminded her of her father back in the day. I had a similar reaction. I'm so glad I picked this up. Hey, the bottles alone are uber cool. A trip down memory lane for sure. Cheers. Donald, thanks very, very much for this. That's absolutely fantastic. I agree with you. These memories are imprinted on us. These scents from back in the day when we're very, very young, whether we're a child or a teenager, we remember that event. Even if it's walking down the hallway and our dad is shaving in the bathroom and the door is open, we get that scent. We remember that moment. That's what is so intoxicating, so to speak, about the traditional wet shave. This gear from yesteryear reminds us of that family history and that tradition. We get it. We get those memories from a scent, an aftershave and a cologne, a razor, a brush, a shaving bowl, any kind of equipment that's been handed down to us by our fathers, our grandfathers, older brothers, uncles, that sort of thing. We are transported back to that moment. And a scent, as you say, this Old Spice aftershave and cologne scent can instantly transport you back to that moment of your childhood, remembering your father, your grandfather having a shave. And what wonderful memories. Again, it's just a wonderful part of the traditional wet shave. It's a terrific attraction that comes about from the traditional wet shave. Just really, I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. And when you start doing the traditional wet shave and you start making that connection, boy, oh boy, there's nothing like it. There really is nothing like it, which means to me that the traditional wet shave is just so much more than just the shave. There's so much more going on there, especially when you use some vintage gear, whether it be aftershave cologne, a razor, a brush, shaving bowl, that sort of thing. You're just transported, and you have these wonderful family memories and traditions that just come flooding back. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Donald, thank you very, very much for that. Really, really do appreciate it. And that wraps up this week's refill segment. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some new wet shaving gear. Well, it's March and spring is right around the corner, and it's back from Phoenix Shaving, Twee right here. And as they write on the product page, start your tweekend off right. Twee, our longtime seasonal, long-running homage to green Irish tweed, one of the most epic Creed creations of yesteryear. When it dropped back in 1985, it took the fragrance world by storm. Similar to Cool Water, yet more complex and, dare I say, even more masculine. Worn by the likes of Cary Grant, Sinatra, Clint Eastwood, to even Ozzy Osbourne, if you can believe that. Needless to say, this fragrance is pretty epic. Being such a versatile, non-overbearing scent, it may be worn any time of year or time of day. Upon first sniff, one is immediately whisked away to the dewy, undulating green landscape of Ireland. Here's the scent profile. Top notes are lemon verbena. Heart notes are iris and violet leaf. Base notes are Mysore sandalwood and ambergris. A memorable herbal green opening, peppered with moist dead leaves and Irish moss. The fragrance of Twee is rich, fresh, sporty, and unforgettable, just like you. Yeah, sporty is the operative word here for me. It's got that sporty liveliness and energy to it. Yeah, it is absolutely fantastic, and you can wear this year round, starting now into spring, into summer, fall, all year round. But yeah, this is terrific as we start moving into spring. Twee from Phoenix Shaving. Also, as they write here, let's not forget Twoob 2.0. You may be able to figure out what this one is, but if not, Twoob 2.0 is a Twee scented cube 2.0 pre-shave soap. So they got the entire collection up there. They got the shave soap, they got the aftershave and cologne, they've got the star jelly, they've got everything up there. We'll link the entire collection below. From Phoenix Shaving, it's back just in time for the spring season and everything that goes on with this great, great warm weather coming up. Twee from Phoenix Shaving will have a link below. Well, it's March, and right around the corner is the Ides of March, and that means from Phoenix Shaving, et tu brute? Yeah, boy, this is a good one. I checked with Douglas, and he said, yes, this is coming. This will be available in March. I haven't checked the product page, so get up there and take a look, see if it's available now. Last year, they launched it late, like at the end of March. Now, here's what happened. Bill and Connie Murphy went to the Maggard meetup last year, and Bill very, very kindly and generously picked this one up for the channel because it came about. It was launched at the end of March last year, and we met up at the Maggard meetup about the end of April last year, and he very kindly sent this along to the channel. And I wanted to do a review, but I wanted to do it, in March. So that's what we're going to be doing with it this year. We're going to be doing the review in March because last year was like, well, I want to do it, but I wanted to do it in March because of the Ides of March, that sort of thing. And this is a marvelous, marvelous scent. And again, a big thank you to Bill and Connie Murphy for very kindly sending this one along to the channel. This is an homage to the original Brut. The scent is marvelous. And even though this is a year old, the scent is very strong. Oh, it's there. It's very present is what I mean to say. It hasn't muted or dissipated at all. That's marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. And as they wrote here originally in the email flyer when this was released, any fans of the original Brut aftershave splash of yore will thoroughly enjoy our rather thorough take on it, guaranteed to turn your next shave into a nostalgic blast from the past. Truth be told, I actually think our version is truer to the original Brut created by Fabergé back in 1964, as it was originally released as a rather pricey, long-lasting cologne, as opposed to the diluted aftershave we all know today. Wow, that is absolutely fantastic, and really, this has a much nicer Brut scent. Again, it's more present, it's more refined. Yeah, I think it's in keeping with that original scent. Oh yeah, this is marvelous. And Bill and Connie also sent along the aftershave cologne and also the Star Jelly. So a big thank you to Bill and Connie Murphy for very kindly sending these along to the channel and allowing me to share them with all the viewers out there. Going to do a shave review on these. Absolutely. I am so looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to it for an entire year. But again, because this was released late in March, I think like the end of March, like the last day in March. Again, I thought, well, you know what? I want to do it beginning of March or right around the Ides of March, that sort of thing. And that's what we have planned this time around. And I'm really looking forward to this. This scent is marvelous. It is Brut. And of course, we've talked about Brut on the channel and on the Monday Morning Mailbag in the past. Oh, it really is a marvelous, marvelous Brut scent. Absolutely fantastic. From Phoenix Shaving Et Tu. Absolutely fantastic. An homage to the original Brut scent. Again, a big thank you to Bill and Connie Murphy for very kindly sending this one along to the channel and allowing me to share it with all the viewers. It's only taken me a year to get this one reviewed, but it's been worth the wait. Check out the Phoenix Shaving website. We're going to link to the website. If the link becomes available, we'll link it below. But look for this one because Douglas says this is coming in the month of March. So we're a little bit ahead of the curve because we've got a brand new fresh one with thanks to Bill and Connie Murphy. We'll have links below from Phoenix Shaving Et Tu. Viewer Andrew Hill sent this along and he writes, new soap in the den. I don't know if you've ever reviewed this or not, but I picked up a new soap and aftershave at Maggard's last week. Captain's Choice Venture. It says it's their take on Creed Aventus. I've never had that, but this is a wonderful scent, and the soap lathers amazingly well. It's a very soft soap, so I would recommend bowl lathering. A very small amount gave me heaps of lather. I've enclosed a picture of the soap and description off Maggard's website. I like this so much, I'll be getting more of Captain's Choice products. As always, great job on the Monday Morning Mailbag show. Have a great weekend, Andrew H. Andrew, thank you so much for the information. And on Maggard's product page, it reads, Venture, bask in the glory of this upscale classic fragrance. Initial notes of a cheerful citrus greet you as you create the lather for your morning routine. Then it occurs to you the scent is somehow more complex. There is more to it, but in an indefinable way. You love it just how it is, but it gets better as you apply to your beard. Oh, does it get better? Yeah, really sounds wonderful. Sounds like it's great performance and a great scent. We'll have a link to the Maggard website and this product page where you can check out Venture by Captain's Choice. Andrew, thanks again very, very much. Well, wanted to pass along this heads up to you. Bulgu Shaving once more has a small batch of Murgrass razors from Eric Mayer available. They came in, gee whiz, probably a week ago, Friday. As they write here, Eric has been modifying Merkur Progress razors since 2007, and they have become a bit of a cult classic. For those unfamiliar, Eric calibrates the razors, smooths out their action, and adds a stainless steel knob with a colored adjustment dot, improving on an already great shaving razor. We receive these periodically and in small batches, so make sure to grab one while you can. We'll have a link below to Bull Goose Shaving, where you can check out the Murgress razor from Eric Mayer. Well, last week we talked about the Yaqi Ultima stainless steel adjustable razor. We also had a review that ran probably several days before that Monday Morning Mailbag. And like this one a lot. A little bit on the aggressive side as you get higher on the levels of aggression here. I tend to use this razor at about 2.5 and under, 3 and under, that sort of thing. That's probably where I use it as a daily driver. With a little more beard growth, probably 3. I haven't really gone above 3. I'd like to go maybe 3.25, 3.5 if I have 2 or 3 days worth of beard growth. But really a nice razor, very solidly built. The Yaqi Ultima stainless steel razor, really terrific razor. Check out the review that it ran on a Wednesday, probably a couple weeks ago, and we also talked about it on last week's Monday Morning Mailbag. Well, after the review ran, we received this email from viewer Rob Miller, and he said, "Hi, Mark. Yesterday, I sent you the Yaqi Final Cut razor because I haven't watched a video with you using it. Well, today I opened YouTube and there's a review of the Yaqi stainless version." A couple days after he sent that email, we received, here it is, the Yaqi Final Cut razor. And he sent along this note and wrote, "Mark, I know you like coffee," and that's the blackout coffee he very kindly sent along. "Mark, I know you like coffee. I just recently tried the blackout coffee and thought of you. Thanks very much, Rob. Really do appreciate that. Also, enclosed is a very inexpensive razor. I have watched many of your reviews, but don't remember this one. I hope you will review it and give your opinion, Rob Miller." Rob, we are absolutely going to review this and give our opinion on it. This comes at a really opportune time because, as I say, the folks at Yaqi very kindly sent along the stainless steel Ultima version. So now we're going to be able to compare these two. You can see side by side they're similar, and right off the bat you'll see that the Ultima has a straight bar to its base plate, whereas the Final Cut has a sculpted comb. This is a zinc alloy, brass, and aluminum razor, and it adjusts from 1 to 6, so it's a little lighter in weight than the all stainless steel Ultima, but really a beautiful job on the plating. This one is chrome and gunmetal. The handle is gunmetal, and the cap, base plate, neck, and bottom knob are chrome, and a nice traditional knurled handle. And again, it's a 2-piece razor just like the Ultima. And this comes in at a really nice price point, somewhere in the area of $20, $25, maybe even a little less. But a really nice looking razor, beautifully plated, has some nice heft to it. Like the colored dot there on the adjustment collar, that is very helpful. I noticed that the numbers aren't carved as deeply as they are on the Ultima stainless steel version. But the same size. The Ultima stainless steel is a little heavier. And again, we're anticipating a similar shave. I'm thinking that this is going to be on the aggressive side at the higher levels, and it'll be milder for me at about 3 and under, similar to what the Ultima was. However, we'll find out when we get into the shave and do the review and that sort of thing. But a really strikingly good-looking razor, and comes in at a really nice price point. Appears to be very well made. Again, adjust from 1 to 6. Well, I'll show you this. The adjustment right here, that's at 1 right there. There's a red dot right there. And then when you adjust it all the way to 6, okay, there we are at 6, and it goes past 6. So it goes past 1, almost to 2, all the way there. So it's really, really opening up that blade gap. Check that out. See how much that blade gap is open there? Yeah, so, if you need level 6 and a little more, this will probably give it to you. But appears to be a really, really well-made, nicely chromed razor that we hope will deliver a nice, smooth shave. Might have a little bit of a different feel because of the sculpted comb. So looking forward to review it. And a big, big thank you again to viewer Rob Miller for very kindly sending this one along and allowing me to share with all the viewers. It comes at a perfect time because we'll be able to compare and contrast it with the Yaki Ultima stainless steel razor. So if you're looking for an adjustable razor at a nice price point that looks great, the Yaki Final Cut may be the one for you. Stay tuned. We're going to get a review done on this one. And again, a big, big thank you to Rob Miller. Folks, we'll have a link below to AliExpress where you can check it out. Again, make sure you check out all the prices for this because the price is going to change a little bit depending on plating and page listing. So you might be able to save a couple of bucks here and there depending on where it's listed and the plating that you see on the page, whether it's all chrome or chrome and gunmetal, something like that. Rob, thanks again very, very much. On last week's Monday Morning Mailbag, Jeff Palmer told us that he went ahead and acquired the Omega Elite GT Series shaving brush, and he wanted to know if anyone could recommend a brush stand or a razor and brush stand that accommodates this particular shaving brush because it's got a 29 millimeter knot and also a rather chunky handle to it. Feels great in the hand though. And we happen to have some viewers step up and make some recommendations. Sam User X1F wrote, my Omega Elite GT Series brush fits perfectly in a Triton Chicago chubby brush stand available at Shave Nation. I believe they are $44. Hey, Sam, thanks very, very much for that, folks. We will link that below where you can check it out. We also heard from Alan Bagby who wrote, Mark, I watched the February 24th 3MB. In answer to your query concerning stands for large knot brushes, I found and recommend Parker's adjustable razor and brush stand. I found mine on the Shave Nation website. Hey, we will go ahead and link that one also at Shave Nation. Alan, thanks very, very much for that. I really, really do appreciate that. And also, viewer Gary JC sent this along. One of your viewers asked about something like this, which you discussed in the refill section of today's Monday Morning Mailbag. Here's a video which could help, in which the real trick being shown and discussed starts at about 58 seconds into the video. This is a video that Gary provided on his channel. Will the brush fit the holder? And we will link that below, so that'll give you some information regarding shaving brushes fitting different razor and brush stands. So Gary, thanks very much for passing that along. And again, thanks to Jeff Palmer for a really terrific question. My thanks to the viewers who contributed answers and solutions. And a big, big thank you to viewer Matt Panter for very kindly sending along the Omega Elite GT Series shaving brush to the channel and allowing me to share with all the viewers. Folks, this is a fantastic shaving brush. We'll have links below. Last week, viewer Scott Martin sent along photos of some of the items he has from the Martin DeCondre Shave Soap collection. Really, really neat stuff. This week, he sent this along, and he says here again, thanks, Mark. This is how much Martin DeCondre marches to the beat of their own drum. You know how if you buy a shaving soap in a wooden bowl, most of the time you'll get something like this. Well, if you buy shaving soap in a wooden bowl from Martin DeCondre, it comes like this. Check that out, folks. That's a mound of shaving soap high above the rim of that bowl. I asked him if it comes with a lid, and he says it doesn't. Just rub the mountain of hard soap with your brush. How about that, Martin DeCondre? Yeah, again, we've got that video review of Martin DeCondre all set. But again, no spoiler here, but let me just give you a hint. Having it in a larger bowl like this will definitely increase its performance. Let me just say that. I don't want to spoil it. Stay tuned for the review. The set was wonderful. The performance was great. And wow, they really do march to the beat of their own drum in offering their shave soap in some different variations than what we are accustomed to. So Scott, thanks very much for sending this along. Really do appreciate it. And that wraps up this week's look at new wet shaving gear. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some of these questions and comments. This comes from viewer Greg Passante, who writes, "Getting a BBS shave, especially on my chin, has always been, well, difficult and often results in nicks and blemishes. But then when I got my hot towel shave in Las Vegas, I remembered he used an electric razor to finish up. Sure enough, today I used mine to clean up my chin. Mark, it cleaned it right up and gave me a BBS finish with no nicks or any irritation. I can't believe I never thought of this before. It really works. I hope others in the 3MB community are able to benefit from this. Have a great week." And again, that comes from Greg Passante. Folks, I'll put it to you. Are you using an electric razor maybe to do a little bit of touch-up after your traditional wet shave? I know I'm going to have to use an electric razor here in order to get a head shave because of that wound I have up there, that head scrape. And we always talk about having a few more tools in our tool belt for those occasions or those times when we have to, again, like maybe with a head scrape like I have, use an electric razor. But Greg is using the electric razor in addition to the traditional wet shave, in addition to a DE razor blade, a DE razor, because it's giving him a little more of a finish, kind of cleaning it up a little bit, giving him that BBS finish. Is anyone out there doing something similar? Comment below and let us know. Kind of mixing the best of both worlds, I guess you could say. Traditional DE wet shave and a little bit of the electric razor to kind of maybe smooth things out a little bit. Comment below, let us know if it's something that you're doing. Really would be interested in hearing from you. Greg, thanks very much for the comment. Really do appreciate it. Well, this comes from viewer Bart Buzz, and we shared it on last week's Second Cup, but we're going to share it again on this morning's Monday Morning Mailbag. This is regarding the Leaf Twig razor, and Bart writes, "Good afternoon, Mark. I wanted to pass along an experience I had with my Leaf Twig. It had been over a year since I last used my Twig. For some reason, I never could get comfortable shaving with it. So this morning, I decided to give it another try. I was surprised that the open and close mechanism was not working properly. When I tried to close it, the top plate would not align with the bottom plate. When it reached the bottom plate, the top plate was almost perpendicular to the bottom plate. I had to loosen the handle and manually twist the top plate before I could get it to align with the bottom plate. So I Googled and found this video that shows how to disassemble and clean a twig or thorn. After watching the video, it was more work than I wanted to attempt, especially since I rarely use my twig anyway. As a last resort, I placed a few drops of mineral oil down the bottom of the handle and twisted the mechanism a few times. Lo and behold, the twig began to work and align properly. Now that I can load a blade and close the twig, I will shave with it tomorrow to see if I get a close and comfortable result. I was surprised, maybe even shocked, at how dirty the inside of the twig was after watching the video. According to the person in the video, he had only been using his twig for about 2 months. Obviously, I am disappointed to see how corrupt the inside gets after such a short time. I definitely won't be getting another leaf twig after seeing how dirty it gets and how cumbersome it is to disassemble and clean. Too many moving parts. I'll stick with my 3-piece DEs. They are much, much easier to clean and maintain. And he goes on to say, feel free to share this with other viewers. And, well, we've done that, Bart, and thank you very, very much for that. Now, I happen to have a leaf twig here that was very kindly sent to the channel by viewer Bill Murphy. Bill, thank you again very, very much. And here's what he's talking about. When you open it up and you're twisting in it and opening, that top plate moves away, and then it goes perpendicular when it's open. And then when you place your blade in there and you reclose it, everything should align back up nicely, nice and parallel, top plate to bottom plate. But what his was doing was that right turn, so to speak, wasn't being made again, or left turn back as you're closing it, right turn open, left turn closing it as you're seeing it on screen here. It was just remaining perpendicular. So yeah, that can be rather frustrating. I have not had any problem with my twig, and I'm getting great shaves with it. I like this razor a lot. I really like the way the razor head works with a snapped DE blade because of the way the base plate is designed. There is some opening there right here. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get that open and out of the way. There you go. There are these openings here where the curl of that blade will move out of the way and the blade will stay nice and flat. You know, after you snap a blade, you get that little bit of a curl on that edge, that snapped edge. That kind of moves out of the way here. The base plate accommodates that curl. So the blade sits flat on the base plate. And I haven't had any problem with mine opening and closing and the top plate realigning with the bottom plate. So I don't know what's going on with that per se, Bart. But this is where we got into the discussion of maybe having a good sonic cleaner for your razors so that you can kind of flush them out and flush all that gunk. Why that gunk is building up on the inside of a leaf twig, I don't know. I'll put it to the viewers out there who have the leaf twig. Are you experiencing any kind of gunk buildup or any kind of misalignment with your razor head? Mine, no, not at all. And I'm going to shave with it again because I really enjoyed the shave that it gave me. And your comment in your email, Bart, reminds me that I got to use this again. I really enjoyed using this. So a big thank you to Bill Murphy and Connie Murphy for very kindly sending this one along to the channel, allowing me to share it with all the viewers. I really enjoyed using this, and I look forward to shaving with it again. A really terrific single edge razor. In my opinion, and my experience with it has been very good. I don't know if I'm getting any gunk buildup in there at all. So, you know, I'll see how it performs in the weeks and months ahead to see if I get any misalignment of the top plate with the bottom plate. But, you know, so far so good. Knock wood, everything's fine. So again, I'll put it to the viewers. What has your experience been with the leaf twig? Please comment below. Let us know. Bart, thanks again very much. Viewer Al Spencer sent this along and he writes, "Hey Mark, I enjoyed today's 3MB and second cup. Daisy looked good on the big screen." Well, check that out last week. Daisy made an appearance during the George Monday Morning Mailbag coffee mug segment. So check that out from last week. Speaking of razor gunk and plating, I sent my 1961 Slim to Razor Emporium. Matt completely disassembles the razor for cleaning and plating. Just seems the best way to do it. He replaces any parts as needed. He has great videos showing his process. Matt recommends a few drops of mineral oil as preventative maintenance. Also, I clean my Slim after every shave using Dial Foamy hand soap and an old soft toothbrush. I have learned that a good after the shave cleaning routine of an adjustable or butterfly opening razor is the key to eliminating gunk buildup. Backstory. In the 1960s, I never paid attention to cleaning my Gillette razors and would go through one a year, throw it away, and buy a new one. I need to mention that back then, a guy only had one razor and shaved mostly every day. That was definitely another if I knew then what I know now moment. Wow. Have a great week, Al. How about that? Well, yeah, check out Matt Pisarcik's Razor Emporium YouTube shaving channel. We'll link to it. He's got some great videos and all the processes up there, replating and tuning some of these great vintage Gillette razors. Really very entertaining, very informative. So, Al, thanks for the reminder on that. And how about that? A Gillette Slim or Fat Boy or whatever you were using back in the day, building up gunk, and you're just setting it aside and getting a new one. Maybe that's why there are so many of these razors out there, so many Slims that are out there, because maybe back in the day, guys just kept buying them thinking, well, they're all gunked up, I'm going to get another one, and maybe didn't actually throw them away, maybe just set them aside and put them in a box or something like that. Maybe that's why we have so many available. That could be, I don't know, just a hunch on my part. But Al, thanks very much for sending that along, because it kind of folds in nicely to our previous discussion here about the leaf twig and gunk building up. Maybe all the razor needs, the leaf twig and some of the other razors that we have that are twist open, maybe all they need, as Al suggests, is a good cleaning after the shave. Al, thanks again very, very much. Viewer James Sefton sent this along, and he writes, "Hey Mark, I was about 16 when I started shaving, and at the time, my dad used Aqua Velva aftershave, so naturally, that is what I used. Every now and then I get a bottle of it, and I add 24 drops of Osage rub to it to liven it up a bit. Just something I thought some of the viewers might like to try. James." Hey, James, thanks very, very much for this. Really do appreciate it, because I just learned about a new product from Clubman that I didn't know existed. Clubman Osage Rub. This is a classic barbershop aftershave splash. It's got a menthol and eucalyptus vibe going on there. A lot of folks really, really like it a lot. Here's a summary on the Amazon product page, and it says, "Customers find the conditioner refreshing and relaxing. They appreciate its pleasant scent, quality, and cooling effect. Many mention it's ideal for warm or hot days with a strong menthol tingle that soothes and refreshes the skin. Customers also like the menthol content, skin health, and longevity of the product. And again, it's got a eucalyptus scent also built into it. So it really will give your Aqua Velva a nice kick just by adding a couple dozen drops to your Aqua Velva. Osage Rub from Clubman. Again, it's kind of a classic barbershop throwback kind of a scent. First time I've heard of it. James, thank you very, very much. That's why I love this program, this channel, and the viewers so much. I learn something new all the time, and here I was unaware of Clubman Osage Rub on my wish list now. James, thanks very, very much. And again, folks, if you are an Aqua Velva user and you want to give it a little kick, check out Clubman Osage Rub. 24 drops to your Aqua Velva, and it'll really, really give it a nice kick and kind of liven it up a little bit. James, thanks again very, very much. Really do appreciate it. And that wraps up another Monday Morning Mailbag. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below. Let me know. Check out all the wonderful artisan soap makers and sellers that you see displayed on the bottom of the screen right now. They make and offer some wonderful artisan shave soap. They also offer some wonderful wet shaving gear to enhance your traditional wet shave. The next time you're online, please take a moment, pay them a visit. I sure would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Also, check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/Mark Zarady, where you'll find all the Amazon listed products that I review in this channel, organized and categorized so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this laugh. Hey, we have another double take cartoon puzzle this week. Try to find the differences between the two cartoon panels. If you need more time, just pause the video or try to find all the differences before time runs out. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.